Letting go gives us freedom, and freedom is the only condition for happiness. If in our heart we still cling to anything, anger, anxiety, or possessions, we cannot be free. Thich Nhat Hanh. In the last video, I talked about managing the mind to identify shadows and shift perspectives. By assessing which thoughts help or hinder situations, we could let go of what no longer serves us. When we hold on to resentment, we give away our power and let that dictate our emotions, behaviors, and decisions. And knowing that prolonged toxic energy could manifest physical ailments, let's forgive for our own health and freedom. Growing up, my example of a relationship consisted of self-sacrifice and judgment. Therefore, I unconsciously learned to overgive and had a savior complex to compensate for my perceived shortcomings. If I could fix someone or change them, I would feel better because I was often criticized. I felt like a burden, so those childhood wounds were deep, provoking the need to prove myself as a people pleaser. While my family did the best they could, all of that played out in my relationships, and I allowed those patterns to repeat. I was in long-term commitments that triggered trust issues, lack of self-worth, and codependency. As a consequence, I experienced apathy, grief, and anger. Those relationships put a spotlight on my wounds and were thereby catalysts to look inward and examine what needed to be healed. Although I didn't know at the time that it was my own perception impacting my experiences, so I continued to find fault in my partners. Then I finally realized I needed to love myself first, tend to my own needs, and be whole to attract the same. Growth is a journey. The only way to move forward was to forgive myself for not feeling good enough and appreciate others for teaching me I am worthy and deserving of everything positive. With each stage in life, it's important to clear anything that doesn't contribute to our well-being, including perceptions, possessions, places, professions, and people. By having the courage to walk away, forgiving, and releasing the past, we can liberate ourselves and create space for new beginnings, as well as the next level of awareness. An aha moment was during Quantum Healing Hypnosis Therapy, or QHHT, where I was able to access my subconscious in theta state. It was a 5.5-hour session, starting with a facilitated discussion about my entire upbringing, which led to a number of revelations. I learned that conditioning throughout childhood and young adulthood was meant to be unlearned as life lessons. Patterns kept surfacing to call attention to self-doubt, low self-worth, and fear of speaking up. During hypnosis, my subconscious presented scenarios like experiencing pain or discomfort as triggers to go in a different direction. I also felt something holding me back, and I couldn't move until I broke free with intention, effort, and belief. During the healing portion, I was enveloped by a dense energy. I had requested healing for a skin condition diagnosed in 2015, at which point I was unhappily married for 10 years. That meant staying in the lower frequencies led to the formation of precancerous cells. It was quite eye-opening. In a later video, I'll share how I was able to heal my skin naturally. And as a side note, the mental clarity following quantum healing was incredible. I was able to solve a technical challenge at work that kept me stumped for weeks. Overall, the depth of healing from that one session helped me uncover the obstacles I needed to overcome, which is a work in progress. If you'd like to try QHHT, a link to trained practitioners is provided in the video description. As always, use discernment to decide what methods are suitable for you. Now let's try these journal prompts to release any heavy emotions. What was our frame of mind during the interaction? This promotes accountability for our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. What lessons could we extract from the situation? How might we grow from it going forward? For instance, did it lead to a better path, like a blessing in disguise? After reflection and introspection, the release could be turning or safely burning the page with grace and gratitude. If the triggers arise again, an option is to accept the feelings and express them constructively with compassion for ourselves and others. Forgiveness takes practice. A key internal shift I made was embracing more of my feminine energy. I've always been independent, so I thought I needed to maintain control and be action-oriented, which is masculine. Through teachings about the art of allowing and detaching from outcomes, I'm now leading with creativity and flowing with life and appreciation instead of resentment. It's truly liberating. If you haven't read it already, the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay has in-depth activities and some great mantras. She also made excellent points about the practical subjects that schools could teach to equip people mentally, emotionally, and financially. A few other practices are in the description below. I invite you to explore what works for you, then document your emotions in the Vibe Tracker. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. Until next time, be well.